Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone is having a great day, whether you are 5 hours away or a day away. Remember, I love you. I need to probably work on that a little bit. But I actually am not going to talk too much. I just want to say this. Do not take advantage of people, especially people who have been nothing but nice to you, who have been nothing but gracious to you, who have been so kind and supportive to you. Do not talk ill of people, especially after a falling out, because you never know how that person is going to react. And you never know when it's going to bite you later on in life. Because I can't tell you how many times I've fallen out with people, whether it be online or offline, and that person tried to talk about me and try to say, well, she's this and that, and you try to bring up my flaws that I've told you about, and other people have made fun of me for, and you said, oh no, girl, they just mean, you beautiful, and you hyping me up, right? But then after we fall out and I say something you don't like, then I become a bitch and blah, blah, blah. You backyardian looking bitch and blah, blah, you ugly as hell. Okay, but when we was friends, when we was cool, you was hyping me up. Okay, girl, you beautiful. And oh, girl, oh my God, like that's so mean. Why are people like this to you? Like, I don't understand why people are bullying you. Like, I don't understand these people because it makes me not trust others. For you to say that to me when we were friends, and then for you to turn around and for you to say that I embarrass myself daily, as if to say that you were on these people's side the whole time and that you just felt sorry for me. I don't know who you think you are, but I am no one's charity case. If you don't like me, I'm an adult, you are an adult. You can just avoid me, you can just block me and unfollow me. You don't have to do all that. Because this girl, the whole thing got started because she tweeted that Jhené Aiko is fetishized by black men because she is light-skinned and mixed. I corrected her and said that you cannot fetishize a light-skinned person or a mixed person as a black person because they are light-skinned and mixed, because these people are privileged. You cannot fetishize a white person if you are a black person or if you are a brown person. I've taken classes on this. I've studied the word fetishism. Fetishism has always been about power dynamics. Fetishism is an offshoot of racism, colorism, homophobia, transphobia, cissexism, misogyny. And whoever benefits from all those things perpetuates fetishism towards these group of people that they oppress. So light-skinned people can fetishize dark-skinned people because light-skinned people are the standard. And I follow this girl, Black Sapphic, and she's talked about how fetishism is basically where you are a dirty secret. This is her words. And basically, you are demonized for being desirable and being undesirable at the same time. Like, you are demonized and desired at the same time. So as a black woman, we are demonized and desired as these sexual creatures, these Jezebels. Dark-skinned women are hypersexualized as these sexual creatures. Light-skinned women can be fetishized, but not because they are light-skinned, but because they are black or they are women of color. Mixed people can be fetishized by white people, but they can be fetishized by black people because they are a privileged group. And they are a group of people that are considered socially higher than black people who are full black or whatever you describe it as. So I'm trying to correct her. She's like, nah, fetishism is something that anybody can be a victim of, and it's harmful for you to fetishize racially ambiguous women. And I said, how are racially ambiguous or light-skinned mixed women harmed for being wanted or desired, while light-skinned, or no, not light-skinned, dark-skinned or black women who are not mixed or light-skinned are dehumanized? If anything, City Girls or Megan Thee Stallion are sexualized and fetishized, while men kind of treat Jhené like she's pure, she's innocent, and you can do no wrong with her, while they just want to fuck Megan or they just want to fuck a City Girl, but they want a wife of Jhené. That's what a fetish is. But she was like, well, Jhené is Asian, so they are fetishizing her because she's Blasian. Well, that's not what you said. You said because she's mixed. So mixed can be black and white. Mixed can be black and Asian. People think that mixed can be, black and Latina, non-black Latina or mestiz. It can be anything, black and Native American. So I don't know what you mean by mixed. She's like, well, I was talking about her being Blasian. And I told her, well, I would agree with that, but you were talking about her being mixed. And she's like, okay, so which one is it? Do you agree or not agree? I said, I agree that she can be fetishized for being Asian because of the submissive Asian stereotype, and she can be fetishized because she's a black woman because of the hypersexual black stereotype. But black men cannot fetishize other races of women because black men do not have the power. At the end of the day, dark-skinned black men cannot fetishize light-skinned women because they are being killed at higher rates than light-skinned women and light-skinned men. Dark-skinned women are being killed at higher rates more than anybody else. So how do these people have the power to fetishize a group of people who are sexually assaulting them and getting them murdered? Not just white people, but people of all races and skin color against dark-skinned black people. So how can dark-skinned black people fetishize light-skinned people when dark-skinned black people are not the standard? To fetishize something, you have to objectify them, because the original term fetish means to take an object and to turn it sexual, like to sexualize a body part or to sexualize this, I'm not going to show that, like to sexualize this Sephora bag right here, sexualizing this shit. Like, you can sexualize this, okay? To fetishize something is to objectify it. It is not a fetish to say, oh, I like light-skinned women because they are more beautiful and they are more pure than dark-skinned women. It is not a fetish to say, I like white women because they are better than black women. It is not a fetish to say, I like Latinos because they are better than black women. It is a fetish to say, I only fuck black women because they got big butts and they sexy as hell. That's a fetish. I only fuck dark-skinned men because they masculine and they got big dicks. That's a fetish. I only fuck Asian women because they submissive. That's a fetish. I only fuck Latinas because they spicy. That's a fetish. It is not a fetish to uphold white people or light-skinned people as the standard of beauty. You can never be fetishized if people desire you and they value you. In order for you to be fetishized, you have to be devalued. You have to be dehumanized. I'm trying to explain all this to this woman, and she's like, no, you wrong. So finally, she tells me to not mention her with this nonsense again. I said, okay, that's fine, whatever. It's not a big deal. I don't want to lose a mutual over this fucking disagreement. Well, this bitch unfollows me anyway. She unfollows me, and then she asks me saying, oh, what are you saying, blah, 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 and I'm like, okay, well, you already told me not to talk to you, so I'm not talking to you anymore. So I ignore her. And then I also tweet, I don't understand why people have to be rude or condescending because they are being corrected. So then she unfollows me, so I mute her, and I'm having a conversation with another follower about her. And she's still on my page, right? She unfollows me, but she's still on my page. Like, she's still looking at my tweets. So I tell another girl that she's trying to embarrass me like she always does. Like, I'll say something and she'll say something kind of shady, like, you don't look like Cardi B. When I never said that I would look like Cardi B or wanted to look like Cardi B, I said that we look like we could be half siblings, because Cardi B has a phenotype that's not racially ambiguous. Cardi B is a light-skinned black woman. So I said, because of her features, Cardi and I look quite similar. Cardi B has had a lot of plastic surgery, but back in the day, she looked like a light-skinned black girl. And me being a black girl that's not too dark, not too far from Cardi's skin color, I said, Cardi and I don't look that much different. So she was trying to be shady, like, well, I don't think you guys look like half siblings, which I don't quite understand why she would even say that, because that's just my opinion. Suppose she said, I look like Nicki Minaj, and I'm like, you don't look like Nicki Minaj. That's kind of shady, especially when these are celebrity women and everybody thinks that they are beautiful and desirable. So when I'm making a joke like, oh, we look alike, and you look at me like, you don't look like her, that's shady as hell. But I kind of was like, whatever. And I deleted that tweet because I didn't want anybody to be harassing me over it. And then I'm trying to talk to her about Nicki Minaj, and how even though Nicki Minaj is dating that man and he's an abuser and he's a rapist, you know, you have to kind of feel sorry for Nicki because Nicki was groomed by this man. Nicki knew this man since she was in high school, and he was trying to get at her then. And she like responds with, oh, well, you know, victims can be bad people too, and you don't have to feel sorry for victims, which I never said I had to feel sorry for a victim, or that it excused a victim for abusing others or being problematic. So she was always kind of like, well, you think this, and I'm like, I never said that or implied that. I just made a point. So she was quoting my tweets, basically saying, you know, you're wrong on this, and I don't agree. And I don't understand why she didn't just DM me, or she just didn't like comment on it without having to quote me so she can get retweets from it. She always did that. And I'm seeing her as a friend because we're talking in the DMs, but she was always kind of doing shady stuff like that. And I didn't really like that. And then the one time where I'm correcting her and I'm quoting her because she keeps saying the same thing that I told several times is not true. And she did it anyway because she thought that she knew everything. She gonna unfollow me and talk down to me as if I haven't been patient with her all this time, because I could have done the same thing to her. So if you felt all this stuff about me, oh, your tweets suck and your tweets are stinky and your dreads are stinky, but yet you following me and you saying the same thing that I said, only you're putting your little spin on it. Instead of calling it colorism, you're calling it fetishism and all of that. You should have just unfollowed me if I look like a backyardigan. You know, which is funny because you try to say, oh, you don't look like Cardi, but yet people call Cardi B a backyardigan, backyardigan. They say that about her, so which one is it? I think you were just a hater. That's what I think. I think you was following me to try and take some of my tweets, take some of my ideas, exploit what I was saying and put your spin on it so you can get credit for it and you can look good and then you can make me look bad. That's what I think it was. I think that you were just a hater that, you know, didn't really like me, but you was being cool about it. That's what I think. I truly think that. So as I wanted to say, if you're going to talk reckless about people who did nothing but helping you and they signal boosting your GoFundMe, you asking us to support you as a single mother, you want me to retweet a comment you made about Nicki Minaj because her stans are harassing you, and you said something about Nicki and they were dragging you and, oh, I need you to retweet this, I need you to retweet this, I'm getting harassed by Barbs, blah, 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 they're being mean to me. So you ask me to do all this stuff for you, and yeah, you're gonna throw me under the bus? You're gonna throw my insecurities back in my face? People are really cruel out here. People are so mean, because I would never do that to someone. If someone vented to me about their problems and they told me that they didn't think that they were the best looking or that they didn't like their face, I would never in my life say, that girl, that's why you ugly as fuck. Because why would I do that when that person already told me that they had issues with their looks, or they had issues with their appearance, or they had some type of mental illness? And here I am like trying to trigger them. And that's not okay. You think I would do that? You think I would do that to somebody after they just vented to me about how people are mean to them and how people call them ugly? And I'm like, okay, girl, you know, you beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm saying the same thing as everybody else. That would make me look like a terrible person. And I've said, yeah, of course, I've said things out of anger. I didn't really mean it, but I try not to be mean. I try not to be hateful, because I understand what it feels like to be talked about and to have people just really make you feel like a shit person. So I understand, but you guys really need to just be nicer, because that was unprovoked. I didn't insult the girl. She called me a bitch. And then she said I look like a backyardigan. I know y'all think, oh, it's not a big deal, but you calling me out on my looks. Meanwhile, I'm not even gonna get into it. And then people were liking it, and another girl that I was nothing but nice to as well, she tried to say something like, oh, well, she thinks she's smart, she thinks she knows everything. I'm like, I never proclaim myself as this expert that knows everything. I talk about something and people like what I have to say because it comes from the heart. I'm genuine. And y'all have this attitude about it, like, oh, you trying to take credit, you trying to get attention, when no, people just like what I said. It's been like this for 7 years. I can't help it that people gravitate to me and people like me and they like my personality. And you stinky as hell, you got a stink ass attitude, and you stuck up, and people don't really come to you the way that they come to me. That's not okay. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. Don't do that. If I'm helping you, if I'm a nice person, and you all of a sudden want to treat me like trash and talk reckless about me, you don't know what's going to happen. Because some people, some people don't care. They have nothing to lose, and they will really fuck you up. You need to be careful how you talk about others and how you treat others, because that could really come back to bite you. That's all I have to say for today. I hope everyone is having a great day. Bye.